Hi everyone, Robert from Pioneer Electronics, and today I want to talk to you about the Z series speakers and give you 5 reasons why those speakers should be the best pick for you as a audiophile car audio system. But before watching that one, if you skip the CMA connected session with Ben and I talking about audio speakers, I invite you to go there, watch that video first, and then come back here after in a way to continue the watching. Reason number one, long history and knowledge. In fact, Pioneer Electronics have a really long history and knowledge. We start in 1938, where Matsumoto-san, which was a very passionate individual and loved music and technologies, start the company, start Pioneer Electronics with a speakers. So we know a lot about speakers technologies. We are also a leader in the car electronic industries. And this is not only for aftermarket solutions. So Pioneer have tied over years a long history of partnership with car manufacturers. So we are a strong OEM manufacturers that work with big partner and names that you know from the car industries. So we're here since long time, and we're here to stay with a big knowledge and big heritage. Reason number two, continuous research and development. These speakers that we design are most of the time, not to say 100% of the time, designed in Pioneer Tohoku's facility in Japan. So that team at Tohoku are the same guys who are doing the design on pretty expensive and pretty niche type of market of home audiophile grade type of electronic and speakers with technical audio device laboratory, or TAD for most people. So those audiophile product are actually something with a price tag that are over $35,000 US per unit. So think about a home audio system that may cost the same as the price of your house. So we are doing our car speaker design with the same engineers, the same facilities, the same environment, anechoic chambers and process. So we're not changing that because it's a TAD speakers or a car audio speakers. So put that in perspective. We will never do kind of $35,000 speakers in your car because you need to put that in perspective and make something realistic for the car audio electronics. But those speakers are designed from the same team. Reason number three, best audiophile quality speakers without breaking the bank. Our Z series speakers is centered on essential component to obtain the greatest and possible dynamics in your car. So the lowest mechanical distortion, neutral acoustic response being optimized for the car listening and the car environment. And of course, the Pioneer open and smooth sound concept that is within speaker DNA at Pioneer Car, where we want to have the speakers to achieve a smooth of axis to on axis transition. So no fan seating in the design. So as an example, if I'm taking that basket, as you can see, this is a stem steel basket. So not aluminum type of basket, because we made some tests and we validate that for that size of the woofer, the aluminum will be maybe too expensive, and we don't need to have that heat dissipation that aluminum will bring, as an example in the design. So the steel frame and the way that we did it with the bracing and the way that we bend the steel frame is as rigid as a casting, as an example, without the price tag. If you look at the cone design itself, this is a curvy linear type of cone. So if you look at it on the side, so this will help you to spread the audio in a way to achieve a more audio, a more open type of sound in the car, help you to improve the on-axis to off-axis transition, as an example. And if you look at the way that cone is built with the different blend of materials, starting with the Trawan woofer cone in the front, but it's also blended with cellulose fiber in the back. And the reason why we blend those two things is to achieve different type of absorption in the mechanical resonance that can be translated to mechanical distortion. So the Trawan in the front within the process will be better at at absorbing some specific resonance frequencies, where the cellulose fiber in the back will deal with different type of resonant frequencies, so which translate in a more inert type of cone, so which is pretty rigid as a cone construction, versus, as an example, with a more flexible cone, which is lower end in the construction, still good, but not as rigid as we have in the Z series. So as you can see, the Z series woofer cone is offering a Trawan woofer cone design, extremely light and rigid cone. So this will give you precise dynamic bass and a good mid-bass transition at the same time. So we will minimize any artifact or unwanted vibration by the cone itself. So the only thing that you will have from that woofer is nice smooth bass output and a nice transition for a perfect balance with the vocal and the upper frequencies note with the tweeter. So it's a nice and smooth transition on both hands. The Z series on his side is offering a large bandwidth tweeter. So the bandwidth is so large that we are able to achieve something that is really low as 2 kilohertz. So there's no fancy things in the design here. So as you can see, I just pulled it apart, and you have the tweeter itself, which is really small in size, but still high power handling and large bandwidth design to make a good and rock solid staging. Remember, so we are looking at a specific tweeter for audiophile. So we're not having some kind of crazy fancy things with a big 2-inch tweeter with aluminum machine. This is a tweeter that is designed for audiophile. It's the Porsche of the tweeter, not the exotic $1 million car that you can't afford. The Vertex drive system secured the source of energy for the tweeter at the sweet spot of the action. So where the flat lower section of the dome is the best transition to do the power transfer we can achieve. So if you look carefully on the right side of the slides, you will see that we attach the voice coil former directly at the flat in the back of the rigid surface in a way to create the perfect balance to push and control the dome movement, which is attached to a pretty compliant cloth suspension system. So this is actually the best of both worlds. So perfect attachment, perfect mechanical control, light cloth system, and precise movement in the hard dome itself. So we have the dome rigidity to create a precise higher frequencies, with the motor structures pushing and controlling the movement where it should. This dome is not a typical dome shape we see in the industry. So it is more something we can see as a one-piece structures that look like typical woofer cone with a really big and oversized center cap that is attached to the highly compliant cloth suspension system. So this special W shape, as you can see on screen with the close-up view on the tweeter, also act as an active part of the tweeter to open up the sound stage to give you not only a better off-axis response, but something that will be way more natural transition over the different listening angle you may have and deal with in the car. Reason number 4, best audiophile quality subwoofers that will fit in your car. The TSZ10 is the 10 inches subwoofers that goes with the full lineup of the Pioneer Z series speakers. So this is a shallow subwoofers. It's available in 2 and 4 ohm, and it's optimized to deal with 100 watts RMS amplifiers. So this is really important here with that subwoofers to understand that the shallow basket design is not just here in a way to give you more installation flexibility. That subwoofers have a low Q that is really optimized to work in a zero 0.6 cubic feet design. So with low mechanical distortion, low flex in the cone, which is really something that we want to achieve as an audiophile solution. So any cone flex is something that we want to avoid because it will create distortion and it will create muddy bass, in particular with subwoofers, things that we don't want. So we want something that is light, rigid. So if you look at the cone itself, I don't know if I will be able to show you on screen, but if I'm pushing on the side of the cone movement is really moving naturally. And that's the same thing if I do it on the back here from the left side. You see everything moving as a one part. So this is a way more complex construction that we can see on the screen with the exploded view that we can share with you right now. And this is a drivers that will give you the type of bass that every audiophile listener is looking at. So which means a Q of 0.7. Okay, we talk about the cone itself without vibration and rigid cone design to make things clean. So if you look at the basket design here on the camera, this is something that is different. So it's aluminum basket, and the reason why we made that aluminum basket is following design and research. So where we want to minimize any vibration in a way to create the best foundation for the subwoofers. Of course, the aluminum at the same time will give you a pretty good heat sink based on the size and the power handling of the speakers. And we're dealing with a sealed suspension, so there's no available air to cool down that things because it's trapped inside of the box. So we need to increase the thermal capacity of the subwoofers, but at the same time, we also want to reduce the vibration. So think about inertia. So if the basket, the foundation of the speakers is dead without any vibration, this will not have a negative interaction with the cone movement itself, so give you even better bass. As I mentioned when I introduced the subwoofers from the Z series, I said that this is a low Q subwoofers of 0.7. So for people who are not comfortable with the Q, the higher the Q number is, the faster the curve will drop. So the faster you will lose the low frequencies output from the subwoofers, and that will automatically create a peak at the upper range of the subwoofers, which is not what we want as a audiophile output subwoofers. So the lower the Q is, the smoother the slope will be without peaking out at higher bass frequencies, which translate in a better transition with your mid bass and the woofer and the other frequencies in the car, and at the same time give you a way more natural output. So if you compare with different offer on the market, so you need to be careful because a shallow subwoofer design does not necessarily mean that that subwoofers is able to deal with low volume. So you need to be careful. As an example, in the chart where we're comparing different output under similar type of product quality, you can clearly see that the output here with the TSZ is really smoothed out and more natural. And this is what you want to have in your car. So be careful. So shallow subwoofers will give you installation flexibility, but this is not necessarily equal to a good performance in low volume box. So you need to look at it when you are in the purchasing process for a quality audiophile subwoofers. Reason number 5, quality system that will last for years. So the Z series is our speaker design where we took care of making something that will give you the best performance, the best quality within within your car, and taking into consideration that there's some limitation in the car. So we want to have those series give high quality sound in the car without necessarily breaking the bank. So we can build a dream system that will be reachable for you. So you will not have to take a second mortgage in the house in a way to build your good quality sound system in the car. And that is the Z series speakers. Once again, Robert here from Pioneer Electronics. This was the top 5 reasons why you should pick the Pioneer TSZ series as a audiophile speaker solution for your car audio system. If you want to hear more and see more about those products, look for our website at pioneerelectronics.ca.